After just 2 rounds of racing, Neville Bradshaw and his 22-year-old CR500 sit just 6 points behind the series points leader. We're now at the halfway point and it's about to get serious. It's time for war.
The story so far. Neville Bradshaw shocked the world at round 1 as he proved it is indeed still possible for a 22-year-old CR500 to reach the top step. Round 2 proved to be a tougher test for both man and machine, but Neville's tenacity saw him claim yet another podium result. But the question is, how much longer can Big Red take the abuse of modern day racing?
We're at Warmingham Lane today for round 3 of the 2020 AMCA Championships, and the two-stroke hero Neville Bradshaw is back once again on his 22-year-old CR500 to do battle. It's Nev's 37th birthday today, which means that together him and his machine have a combined age of 59. Together they'll be going toe-to-toe with a full field of MX1 pilots. So we're now at the halfway stage of the season and Nev sits just 6 points behind the series points leader, Luke Burton. Things are about to get real, but what we need to remember is it's simply for the love of two strokes. 2 rounds deep into the championship now, at the 3rd round. Just talk about some of the challenges that you found racing an old bike, 22-year-old bike so far.
For sure, the 2nd round, the biggest thing I found is like when I was done, like I always get tired to my first motors, like I was finished, dude. Like I couldn't, it felt impossible to even ride, you know, like with the way the power comes in. So that was pretty tough. And then if you make a mistake, you know, like when you need the brakes to turn on a mistake, there's no brakes and you just keep going, you know, so it's quite sketchy. You have to kind of like try and like manhandle the bike to get to places. I mean, the power's there. It's probably about the same as a 450, I'd say. But you know, like the track today, like it's so fast, like it's so hard to slow down, you know, like you don't have any engine braking and then the brakes aren't good. So that's what I was struggling with a little bit today. It's just like you get up to like maybe 5th gear flat out and then you got to slow down to like 2nd gear and it's just hard to do, you know, and then so that's the sort of stuff. But I mean, it seems like the races when you can get into like a bit of a flow and get going, then you know, and run high gears, then it seems to be alright. The first 2 rounds I think I was quite lucky where the tracks were really technical and got really rough, so like my fitness and like a little bit of technique came into it. But I think today, you know, it's sunny and they haven't ripped it too deep and it's quite smooth, you know, so I think it's going to be some close racing today. I think today will probably be the biggest struggle, I'd say, just on how the track's going to develop and stuff. But I'm just going to try to get the best start I can and just kind of crack on and do the best I can. Even beyond the kind of riding the bike, just talk about some of the technical challenges in the pits that JP's had to kind of work his arse off, keeping the bike going. That 2nd round, we blew a base gasket and he literally worked from my motor ended until my motor started. And then like every single time he bleeds the back brake, just stuff like that, and staying on top of stuff like we've cracked a pipe, you know, stuff like that is hard to stay on. We did a bit of testing the week actually, and JP's forks are a lot nicer than mine, so I put his forks in and he's got a bigger front brake disc. So we've done that, but yeah, it's hard to stay on top of, you know, like there's just stuff going constantly. But lucky JP's knows the stuff with the 500 is like the back of his hand. And he's got a lot of spare parts and he's got a spare bike here. So far we've managed to keep it going. It's not really something that I envisioned doing, you know, like when I bought that bike, I bought it to go in front of the boys on a weekend, you know, I didn't really picture myself racing it. I'm at this level week in, week out. So he's taking a beating, but you know, just keep it running. That's a good thing with the 2 strokes. It's not too much of a stress to keep it running. That's when you realise you're riding a 22-year-old bike, is when you come out off the track, isn't it, and pull into the pits and you're like, oh, what's the damage, what's going on? And just stuff like back brakes breaking and stuff like that, you know, like it's an old bike, it's 22 years old, you know, like it's stuff does break. Like it's a Honda stuff lasts good. Pretty much a halfway point of the season now. Is this where you expected to be, 2nd in the points, or? Oh, not at all, no chance, dude. I kind of, like I said to you guys, like just inside the top 10 would have been good for me. It seems like I can hustle it, you know, like I'm not the fastest guy, and like sometimes the lap times aren't the fastest, but I can put a moto in, and that's helped me out a lot. But no, definitely not. I didn't think I'd be 3rd in the championship, 6 points off the lead, you know. It's not really something I looked at the start to try win a championship either. You know, it's competitive, you know, there's a few more new riders in the series now today. And, you know, the front boys are fast, you know. You can finish 1st or you can finish 6th or 7th in a race, you know, the points are so different. Yeah, you know, like I see myself in that position, you might as well have a crack at it, but I still want to keep it fun, you know, like I'm not going to try to change the way I'm riding or change anything I'm doing just to try to win it. But yeah, no, super surprised to be that close to the lead with the caliber of rider, you know, and the machinery that they're on.
So round 3 of the 2020 AMCA Championship is about to get underway here at Warmingham Lane. We have the MX1 class lined up for their first race of the day. Who's going to grab the opening hole shot? We've got a series points leader, Luke Burton. He's looking hungry today, and a host of new riders as well, all hungry for a race win. And the gates have dropped. Who's going to come around the first corner with the lead? That looks like James Dodd with the whole shot, followed by Josh Waterman and Ashley Greedy as the field go charging through. Oh, and look at that, Neville Bradshaw is buried deep in the pack early on the 272 Honda CR500. He's got some work to do early on in this race if he wants to find himself in podium contention. The track here today, very dry and slick, not favourable conditions for the old bike, the old two-stroke. Oh, well, look at that. It looks like there's a problem for Neville Bradshaw there over on the far side of the circuit. He's looking down at his machine. Oh, this is drama early on for Neville Bradshaw and the big red machine. He's dropping down the field like a stone. He's pulled off the track now, trying to work out what is going on with that machine.
Sakes, man. Is that brake fluid? Is it boiled over?
Sakes.
Frustrations for Neville Bradshaw and his small team. He's in the mechanics area now trying to fix that problem of his. It looks like it's a rear brake issue that's knocked him out of the race. Look at that, he's got the bike started again and he's getting back out there. Bradshaw does not know how to quit. Heads back out on track now on the big red. And he's back on the gas on that two-stroke machine. Neville's going to try and salvage as much as he can in this race, but it seems like the damage is already done. The 272 machine is already 2 laps down on the race leaders. Bradshaw will try and pick off as many riders as he can in the remainder of this opening moto. What a disastrous way to start the day for Neville Bradshaw. This has really put a spanner in the works for his championship hopes. Back at the front though, look at this, we have Greedy, Burton and Waterman. Oh, look at that, Luke Burton goes down while he's battling for the lead. So that leaves Waterman in the lead, followed by Ashley Greedy and James Dodd. So the battle at the front is fierce, and Josh Waterman takes the win in the opening race of the day for the MX1 class. And here comes Neville Bradshaw, still fighting through the pack. No surrender for the 272. He will fight until the end. And here he is across the line now. Heroic effort for Bradshaw, but a disastrous result for Big Red. Let's see what he can do to salvage the day in the second moto. Coming up soon.
Dude.
What happened?
Back brake stuck on.
Did it, what, in the rut, did it just get...
There was a little bit too much fluid in, and then the fluid expanded and it just locked on. So it's just quite stuck now.
That'll do, won't it? On the second lap?
Yeah. Disappointing, but at the end of the day, it is what it is, you know, like...
Yeah, we knew coming in that it's not meant to be done, is it? It's not meant to be done, so to get this far, and you've had some problems with it, but it's been pretty good until then, hasn't it?
No, it's been mega. It's just a little, like, you know, it just takes a tiny bit little bit too much fluid and it just like locked on, you know. It's like it's an easy mistake to make, you know. Just try to get a good start, take the motor and then
just like enjoy it. That's all you can do now, enjoy it.
yeah.
Enjoy the ride. You just kept going. So
I got taught as a child, never ever. If you can finish a left, you finish them, you know.
So race 1 done in the books, not how we wanted it to go, not how we expected the day to go. Took a turn for the worse there. Nev is not a guy to give up, so he just completed all the laps and tried to gain as many places as he could, but I think he was 2 or 3 laps down by the time he got going again, so it's kind of deflated the day a little bit, but all that we can do now is crack on, have fun, and really soak in what Nev is doing on this 22-year-old CR500. This bike is 22 years old, and this is really the first proper bike malfunction we've had so far in this series, 3 rounds in, so that's pretty impressive on its own. So like I said, we're going to have to soak up the day, just kind of bask in the glory of what he's trying to do on this old bike against these modern machines, and enjoy the rest of the day. So race 2 coming up next.
MX1 race 2 then lining up here at Warmingham Lane, round number 3 of the 2020 AMCA Championships. Neville Bradshaw on the big red CR500 is going to be looking for redemption in this moto after that disastrous result in race number 1. Look out for Luke Burton, Josh Waterman, Ash Greedy, Corey Southwood, James Dodd, Tommy Albert and the rest of the field. We have a handful of potential race winners here, so we're expecting a fierce race between these MX1 warriors. 50-second board is up. Heads are down and the gates have dropped. Who is going to grab the whole shot in race number 2? It looks like the red number 14 of Luke Burton with the whole shot, puts Corey Southwood quickly into the lead on that number 44 Kawasaki, and Nev Bradshaw in the top 10 by the looks of things early on in this race. So a much better start for Nev's the 272 in this second moto of the day. This track drying out quickly, the dust is in the air. Tough conditions on these opening laps. Bradshaw raiding the 2-shot lines, searching for a place to pass. He's got 462 in front of him on the KCM and James Dodd on the number 3. Looking for a move on James Dodd around the outside, and he looks to make that stick as he powers down the hill. Oh, but Dodd back to the inside and reclaims that position from Bradshaw. Bradshaw and Dodd slicing through the field together at the moment. Slight mistake from Dodd there, and Bradshaw looking to capitalise. Can't quite get the drive up the hill though to make the pass on the number 3 machine, so he still trails James Dodd. To head over the tabletop, back across the start finish straight towards the finish line for the first time in this race. And it's Corey Southwood leading Luke Burton ahead of Adam Chatfield, Josh Waterman, Ashley Green, Tommy Albert, Josh Taylor, James Dodd, and Neville Bradshaw in 9th place. So as Bradshaw hunts down James Dodd and Josh Taylor, the 2-1-1 machine of Jaden Ashwell is lurking there right behind him. Bradshaw's got to be careful, he's got to look in his rear view mirrors. And it looks like Dodd's made a move on Josh Taylor then, but Taylor fights back. Dodd cuts back down, looking to make that pass stick for 7th place. Finally, it looks like James Dodd on the number 3 Honda has made the move on Josh Taylor's stick, so Taylor is now in the sights of Neville Bradshaw. Bradshaw's going to look to follow Dodd through there and advance through the field as quickly as he can. 166 of Taylor has Bradshaw all over his rear wheel now. How quickly can Bradshaw make the pass? Watch out for Jaden Ashwell, he's there as well. A slight mistake from Taylor allows Ashwell and Bradshaw all over his rear wheel. So it's close now between the 3 riders. Bar to bar to bar, into the corner, into the roller section. On the gas for the old CR500 up the hill. Attacking and defending all at the same time. Ashwell's still there, looking hungry for the pass on Big Red. Now look at that. Jaden Ashwell round the outside on the pegs. He's made a move on Neville Bradshaw to knock the 272 machine back into 10th position. Going to have to dig deep to finish up this race. He wants to salvage the day here at Woodland Lane. Can Bradshaw bounce back? This is as close as Bradshaw has been to Ashwell and Taylor for a couple of laps now, so it looks like he has regrouped. Put his head down and looking to make some passes again. Here he goes. Oh, Ashwell goes down just in front of Neville Bradshaw. So Ashwell has gifted a position to Nevster there. Back into 9th place for Neville Bradshaw. And it looks like Bradshaw back in business now. Regained some confidence, regained some composure. And he's now on the hunt. He's got Taylor just in front of him. Dodd and Alba not too much further forward either, so there's options for Bradshaw in these closing laps of the moto. So a pass could be imminent here for Neville Bradshaw if he can find the right line around the 166 machine. The track's so dry and slick at the moment, certainly not ideal for the CR500, but Bradshaw doing what he does best, adapting to the conditions and never giving up. It's all over the back end of Taylor now. Oh, and then he makes the pass. Oh no, but Taylor fights back. Bar to bar around that off-camber corner. Look, Bradshaw has shown his intent. He's determined to make a pass on Taylor. And up the inside he goes on the gas and he makes the move stick. Bradshaw up into 8th place now around Josh Taylor. Just a couple of laps to go. And look at this. Bradshaw has Tommy Alba in his sights now, so Alba has slipped back a position as James Dodd advances further forward. So Bradshaw has Tommy Alba 681 on the KTM within his reach now as well. So a late charge in this moto for Neville Bradshaw. Bradshaw's been woken up in this second half of the moto. Put a charge forward through the pack. Yes, 7th place man Tommy Alba in his sights now. Look how deep those ruts are. With a team of Neville Bradshaw and the big red CR500 making it look easy out there. Back markers causing issues for Tommy Alba. Bradshaw gets by cleanly, so Bradshaw all over the rear wheel of Tommy Alba now. Alba surely must know that the big red CR500 is behind him. And Bradshaw around the outside here looking to make a move. He cuts down. Bar to bar over the tail top, and here they come towards the finish line to take the last lap flag. And Bradshaw around the outside, he makes the move stick on Tommy Alba, so Bradshaw into 7th place on the final lap of action here. And across the line for Neville Bradshaw, 7th place for the 272 machine. Not a bad result considering how the first half of that moto went.
Yeah, Nev, talk us through race number 2. Hustle out there.
Yeah, tough race, eh? The track's just like, it's like such a one-line track, and everyone just goes in the one line. And then it's like for the 500, it's like you turn up hills that are all naturally and slippery. So as soon as I touch the gas, I just lose the back end. So it was a hard race. So like I think I must have started about 10th, and then came through, and then I think I passed about 3 or 4 people in the last few laps. Like if you watch the GoPro, I made some nice passes. But the frustrating thing is when you look across the track, the front runners are in the same place every lap.
Yeah, like at first I thought they were just going to go.
Yeah.
Because the front 2 were gone, and then you've got Waterman, Greedy, and Chatfield caught back up. And
Yeah.
That pack and your pack were the same.
Same. I was looking across the track at the leaders, and we're the same every lap. But I'm like 20-30 seconds behind, you know. It's I think the speed is there to get the result, but it's just, you know, unless you're going to start in the top 3, you're not going to finish in the top 3. It's just a simple fact of the way that the track is, you know. You know, it's a good ride, you know, like I fought hard and passed some good guys at the end, but I'm just frustrated that how hard it is to ride this bike on this track. That's what's frustrating me, and I don't have a good footing with my riding, which is what I ride for now. But I mean, the pace is there, and I came through some good guys, so
Yeah, one more shot.
we got one more shot at it, so just try. I think just emphasis on the start, you know, like if I can get a start, like it'll be fine. But there's one more go at it, make the best of it. Yeah, one more race. See what it is, though.
It's time for the third and final race of the day here at Warmingham Lane for the MX1 class. Neville Bradshaw is looking for redemption. It's been a tough day at the office for the 272 machine. And he's looking focused, ready to go for the third and final moto of the day. All about the start though, can he grab the whole shot? Let's find out. And it looks like the 272 machine has got a good jump. He closes the door at Chatfield. Neville Bradshaw has grabbed the whole shot on the big red CR500. Bradshaw in the race lead. Big Red leads the pack on the opening lap of Moto 3. Over the tabletop, and he whips it. Bradshaw showing off now. Look at this. Bradshaw on the big red 500 with the race lead early on in Moto number 3. This is what he's been waiting for all day. The opportunity to get some fresh air and lead the pack. But what can he do with this opportunity? He has James Dodd and Adam Chatfield close behind him in second and third respectively. Chatfield makes the move into second place, so Chatfield, the 407 Suzuki machine, now looking to hunt down Neville Bradshaw on the 272 CR500. This is the redemption that Bradshaw was looking for. As we said, it's been a difficult day for Nevster, and this is what he's needed to reclaim some glory for himself and the CR500. We know he's capable of a race win on this machine. We've seen him do it before. But can he do it again today? So far, so good for Neville Bradshaw. He can't rest easy because Chatfield is chasing. But Bradshaw looks cool, calm and composed as his first lap draws to a close. Listen to the big red feed around this Warmingham Lane circuit. The conditions, the toughest they're going to be all day long here in this final MX1 moto. But these front two riders stretching away from the field now. So it looks like it's going to be a battle between Bradshaw and Chatfield for this moto win. Chatfield diving to the inside as Bradshaw uses the two short lines around the outside, and he hangs on to the lead for another lap then. Chatfield showing his front fender there, showing Nevster that he's keen for the pass. Very close between the two riders now. Chatfield making his intentions known. Bradshaw defends well, keeps hold of the race lead for now. This is the best we've seen Bradshaw all day long. Finally looking comfortable on this track, this tough Warmingham Lane track. As we've said before, not the ideal conditions for a CR500 by any means. Chatfield still there close. Oh, a nice line from Adam Chatfield in that bottom corner. Real close on Bradshaw now. Oh, well, look at that. Chatfield up the inside. That line he tried last lap around has paid off for him. So Chatfield into the lead. Can Bradshaw retaliate? Or is he going to sit here and follow Chatfield for a while, try and work out where the Suzuki rider is? Maybe a bit faster. Bradshaw seemingly has the speed in his third and final moto to close the gap if he wants to. No one expected this. from Big Red as we enter the season. And still, we're shocking as ever to see this old bike at the front of the field. So Adam Chatfield leads, Neville Bradshaw, James Dodd third, Tommy Albert in fourth place, Luke Burton sits in fifth, then the points leader. Bradshaw lost some ground on Chatfield that lap. It looks like the 272 machine is back on the gas. So the 407 machine leads ahead of 272 Neville Bradshaw. Bradshaw railing those ruts, just ahead of James Dodd, the number 3 Honda machine. There's our race leader, Adam Chatfield. A nice gap now. And there's Dodd. So where's Bradshaw gone? Neville Bradshaw's gone missing because there's Luke Burton. So Neville Bradshaw's gone missing. There he is. He's looking down at his rear wheel. Disaster for Neville Bradshaw. Another bike malfunction, and it looks like a flat rear tyre. So a flat tyre has knocked Neville Bradshaw and Big Red out of this race. Oh, disaster for Bradshaw. It's just not been his day here at Warmingham Lane as he rides Big Red off to the sunset.
Dude, heartbreaking way to end the day, but that was last dance for Big Red. What a way to start the race and go out there and show them what you made of.
That was pretty sick, you know, to like, there's not many times in my career like I actually haven't want to be at a race, you know, and I was like, I really didn't enjoy, obviously we had the problem in the first one, and the second one I didn't enjoy the track at all. It just wasn't 500 friendly, and then I kind of thought, you know, because JP and everyone's put so much effort in, and if it was going to be their last ride, I was like, I want to leave this and people remember it, you know, and then I went hard on the gate. Got quite a cool jump, and then everyone was coming in and I just left the brakes all the way to the bank and pulled a nice hole shot. It was so sick. Like the whole day I've just been behind people and not been able to go anywhere.
So fresh air for the first time.
So nice to have like fresh air. I'm thinking, okay, gonna make a statement here, and then was just cruising, and then Adam passed me, and I'm more comfortable following someone for a bit, and I know at the end of the race I've got some good strength, so yeah, but ended up getting a puncher, and that was it, dude. But kind of looking back on it, you know, like,
what ride?
Yeah, sick way to end it, and also like I think I've proved what I wanted to prove to myself and everyone at the start. Like, you can jump on a 20-something-year-old bike, an old man, 37 today, and still run at the front of like a competitive championship. You know, like I do feel it on my body. You know, like obviously I'm not as good as what I was before, but I feel like I can still hustle it. But it asked a lot, you know, and that's another reason why I question doing the whole series, is because, you know, like you're riding on the limit there, you know, and then on a bike that's not as competitive, you're going a little bit harder even.
Yeah.
So no, it's been sick, you know, like people have been pumped on it, and just to like, how cool was that? Like a 500 leading that race.
Yeah, like when you see you come round that first corner and then whip that first tabletop, everyone's just going, yes.
So
yes.
sick,
like, just kind of the whole place was like.
And also because it's not a 500 track, and everyone knows that. Everyone you speak to is like, you can't. And then I really wanted to say, and I also didn't believe it, but I'm like, I'm quite good at like hustling something out of something, and I really wanted to try.
What that race was going to be.
Like a shit day to end on a good note and end this series on a good note, but it was meant to be. And I'm in one piece, you know, like my age now, I never looked at it like that when I was racing, to be happy to be in one piece, but I had a weird feeling about this weekend with everything that happened with my nephew yesterday. Spending the night in hospital, then my brother-in-law we've been on our own with the kids all day, and then just the feeling I've had, and I had a really bad feeling last night actually, and I've only had it a few times. It's quite weird. And I actually phoned Sam and my mom before this race. I don't know why, like I was freaking, like I've never really done that. So to DNF, it's not in the world, you know.
Yeah. So I think from us, from everyone that's watched, thanks Neville Bradshaw for your services to Two Strokes. What story?
There's Two Strokes I still love, dude. It's just about how far you want to turn that.
That's it. Thanks for watching, guys. As always, that's Neville Bradshaw. Check him out on Instagram, Nessa272. I've been Max. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Till next time, we'll see you at the track.
Despite his adversities today, Nesta and the CR500 still managed to provide some unforgettable moments and gave us all something to shout about.
Bradshaw's home shot! That's them! And a whip! What a boy!
Next next time on For the Love of Two Strokes. Neville will be looking to put his troubles behind him as the series heads back to Long Lane for the final round of the 2020 Championship. The pandemic has played havoc with the racing schedule, meaning that this truly will be the last dance for Big Red. Not only will Neville have to battle with his championship rivals, but this time Big Red must fight Mother Nature herself. It certainly ain't easy doing the impossible.
Yes, sir! Second place!
Don't miss the epic finale. Subscribe now.